After the age of 60, your nervous system begins to lose its capacity to recruit muscle fibers, and this specific breakdown is the primary
80%
cause
of
of
falls
80%
are
of
preventable through
falls,
strength.
injuries, and the loss of independence in men who are otherwise physically fit. Most existing training programs are designed for younger bodies, treating aging as if it were merely a dimmer switch.
Lighter
by
weights.
using the
The
same
paradox of
movements
diminutive
with lighter
dumbbells.
weights.
It is not traditional
not.
strength.
After 60, the rules change entirely.
The signal
You are not
fades.
losing muscle
Nutritional
first.
deficiency
You are
interrupts
losing the
impulses,
signal
causing
that
weakness.
instructs your muscles to fire. The split routines, the heavy singles, and the long rest days are actually accelerating the very decline you are trying to prevent. There is a specific training framework that reverses this neurological fade, and it contradicts almost everything you have been told. In the next 14 minutes, I will break down the 4 exact principles: frequency, recovery, balance priority, and neurological intent that keep men powerful past 70. Let us begin here. If you have been working out consistently but still feel weaker, more unstable, or more prone to injury, it is not your fault. You have been following advice meant for younger men, advice that made sense at 45 but breaks down after 60. The fitness industry treats aging like a dimmer switch, suggesting the same movements with less intensity or the same splits with lighter weights. However, your body after 60 does not function like a younger body on low power. It operates on entirely different rules. Until you understand those rules, you are not just wasting time, you are programming your body to fail. The first point is the full body frequency principle. Here is the issue with the Monday chest, Wednesday back, and Friday legs approach. After 60, your body loses muscle protein synthesis much faster. When you train a muscle group only once a week, you receive a brief spike in growth signals followed by 6 days of slow decline. By the time you target that muscle again, you have lost most of what you built. Researchers at McMaster University studied this exact phenomenon and found that men over 60 need to stimulate each muscle group at least twice, ideally 3 times per week, just to maintain mass. Once a week puts you in a deficit you cannot see. Interestingly, full-body workouts 3 times a week create a constant state of elevated protein synthesis. Your muscles never go dormant. You are always in growth mode, even if the gains are smaller per session. Over time, this compounds not just in size, but in something more critical: neurological efficiency. Every time you perform a movement, you are not just training muscle. You are training the nerve pathways that activate that muscle. After 60, those pathways degrade faster than the muscle itself. Split routines give those pathways too much time to go quiet. Full-body training keeps the signal strong. In practice, this means 3 non-consecutive days a week, such as Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, or Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. Each session hits every major movement pattern: push, pull, squat, hinge, and carry. You are not doing a chest day. You are doing an upper body push in every session. You are not doing a leg day. You are doing lower body work every session. Aim for 6 to 8 exercises, 2 to 3 sets each, for a total of 45 minutes to an hour. The weight does not matter yet. The movement quality does. If you skip this and keep splitting your routine, you are giving your nervous system permission to forget. When it forgets, your muscles become decorative, strong on paper, but useless when you need them. The second point is the recovery paradox. You might be thinking, wait, 3 full-body sessions a week? What about recovery? This is where almost everyone gets it wrong. You have been told that older men need more rest, that recovery takes longer, and that you should take it easy. In some ways, that is true. Your tissue repair is slower, and your inflammatory response takes longer to calm down. However, the paradox is that complete rest makes you weaker, not stronger. A study published in the Journal of Gerontology tracked men over 65 through different training frequencies. The group that trained 3 times a week with active recovery on off days outperformed the group that trained twice a week with full rest, not by a little, but by margins that showed up in functional tests, balance assessments, and metabolic markers. Why? Because your body after 60 does not interpret rest the same way it used to. When you were younger, rest meant rebuild. After 60, prolonged rest means retreat. Your body starts shutting down systems it thinks you do not need. Mitochondrial density drops, capillary networks shrink, and neurological recruitment fades. But what most men never realize is that recovery is not about doing nothing. It is about doing the right kind of something. Active recovery involves low-intensity movement, such as walking, mobility work, or light carries. On your off days, you are not collapsing on the couch. You are moving with purpose, but without load. This keeps your systems active, circulates nutrients, and maintains the neurological signal without creating damage. The tactical shift is this. On training days, you push, not to failure, but to effort. You are working in the 7 to 8 out of 10 range, which is challenging but controlled. On off days, you move for 20 to 30 minutes with intentional walking, stretching, or body weight patterns. The goal is not intensity, it is circulation and signal maintenance. If you ignore this by training hard and then resting completely, your body interprets that silence as decline. Your recovery gets slower because your systems downregulate, leading to a spiral that looks like aging but is actually deconditioning. Break the pattern by moving intelligently and recovering actively. The third point is the balance foundation. Balance predicts independence better than strength, endurance, or how much you can lift. Specifically, single-leg stability is key. There is a test used in longevity research. Stand on one leg with eyes open and see how long you last. If you cannot hold it for 10 seconds, your risk of all-cause mortality in the next decade doubles. This is not just about injury, it is about mortality. Balance is a window into neurological health, vestibular function, proprioception, and muscular coordination. When balance goes, everything else follows. Most men treat balance as an afterthought, doing a few wobbles on a Bosu ball or some single-leg curls. But balance is a foundation. After 60, it should be the center of your training, not the accessory. Every major lift you do should have a stability component. Instead of standard squats, do them as goblet squats or split squats. For presses and rows, use a single arm. Perform single-leg Romanian deadlifts and unilateral farmer's carries or suitcase carries. You are forcing your body to stabilize while it produces force. That is the magic combination that keeps your nervous system sharp. When you train in an unstable environment, you train your brain to predict. Your cerebellum has to fire faster, and your small stabilizer muscles must coordinate in real time. This neurological demand does not just make you balanced, it makes you resilient. Tactically, at least half of your exercises should involve single-leg or single-arm work, rather than both sides at once. One side is loaded while the other is stabilizing. This does not mean you abandon bilateral movements entirely, but you prioritize unilateral stability as the foundation. In practice, use split squats instead of back squats, single-arm dumbbell presses instead of barbell benches, and single-leg deadlifts instead of conventional pulls. If you skip this, you might get stronger in the gym but weaker in life, because life does not happen on 2 stable feet with an even load. It happens when you step wrong, reach awkwardly, or catch yourself mid-stumble. If your body has not practiced that coordination, strength will not save you. Stop for a second. Most men do not fail because they are weak. They fail because they train for a body that does not need to function. They train for appearance, for numbers on a bar, or for the ego boost of one more rep. But your body after 60 does not care about your deadlift max. It cares whether you can get off the floor without using your hands, whether you can carry groceries upstairs without losing your breath, and whether you can play with your grandkids without fear. The strongest men I know are not the ones who lift the most. They are the ones who move the best. The fourth point is the intensity volume shift. Let us talk about what actually builds muscle after 60, because the rules have changed. You have probably been told to lift heavy with low reps and high weight to build strength and size. For decades, that worked. But after 60, lifting heavy comes with a cost most men do not see until it is too late. Joint stress accumulates faster than tissue adapts. Your tendons and ligaments do not recover like they used to, and your cartilage is thinner. One bad rep under maximal load can sideline you for months. However, the paradox is that lifting too light is even worse. When you drop the weight too much, you lose the mechanical tension needed to signal growth. You are going through the motions, but your body has no reason to adapt. You feel like you are being careful, but you are actually shrinking. The answer is moderate load, higher volume, and perfect form. Research from the University of Alabama found that men over 60 build just as much muscle with weights at 60 to 75% of their one-rep max as they do with maximal loads, but the injury rate drops dramatically. The neurological adaptation and signal strength stay consistent. This looks like lifting a weight that feels challenging at rep 8 to 12. Not impossible and not easy, but challenging. You should do more sets, such as 3 to 4 sets per exercise, to accumulate volume without spiking risk. Every single rep must be controlled. 2 seconds down, 1 second pause, and 1 second up. No momentum, no bouncing, and no ego. After 60, form is not just about safety. It is about signal. Slow, controlled reps create more time under tension, which means more mechanical stress on the muscle and more adaptation. Fast, jerky reps recruit momentum, not muscle. And your nervous system learns to cheat. When it learns to cheat in the gym, it cheats in life. Tactically, pick a weight you can control for 10 to 12 reps with perfect form, do 3 to 4 sets, and rest 90 seconds to 2 minutes. Focus on the eccentric phase. If you ignore this, you will either get hurt or get weak. Here is a question for you. What is the one exercise you have been avoiding because it feels too hard or too risky? Drop it in the comments, because I can almost guarantee that is the exact movement your body needs most, and I will tell you how to modify it. Now, here is the part that changes everything. Everything I have told you so far, the full body frequency, the active recovery, the balance work, and the moderate intensity, builds toward one singular goal: neurological adaptation. Your body after 60 is fighting a quiet war against disconnection. The signals from your brain to your muscle fibers are fading, and the motor neurons that tell your muscles to fire are dying off. If you do not actively fight this, you do not just get weaker. You lose the ability to use the strength you have. This is why men fall, why they struggle to stand from a chair, and why their grip fails. It is not muscle loss, it is signal loss. Researchers at the University of Oklahoma discovered that resistance training doesn't just build muscle, it rewires your nervous system. Every time you perform a challenging movement with full concentration, you are strengthening the connection between brain and muscle. You are keeping motor neurons alive and building new neural pathways, but only if you train with intention. Mindless reps do not do this. You have to feel the muscle working and focus on the contraction. This mind-muscle connection is not optional after 60. It is survival. To train for it, visualize the movement before every set and think about which muscle is doing the work. During the set, focus entirely on the feeling of contraction, the tension, and the muscle shortening and lengthening under your control. This requires you to slow down, focus, and abandon ego for precision. This separates men who stay strong from those who fade. One group lifts weight, the other trains their nervous system to remember how to be powerful. To bring this together, train full body 3 times a week for frequent stimulation. Recover actively to prevent decline. Prioritize balance for longevity. Lift moderate weight with higher volume for safety. And focus on the mind-muscle connection for neurological foundation. This is about staying capable, resilient, and powerful. Most men your age are making peace with decline, but you understand that your body is still capable of adaptation. Strength is about signal. The difference between a man who stays independent and one who loses it is whether he keeps training his nervous system to remember. If this resonated, subscribe, because the next video breaks down the exact warm-up sequence that primes your nervous system for maximum performance. It is 3 minutes that change everything. If you are ready to start training smarter, you are exactly where you need to be. If this story changed the way you look at the strength of your own body and the potential of your later years, please subscribe and like the channel. We are uncovering the physiological truths that often get buried by standard advice. Let's build a more resilient future together. The next treasury of knowledge will be opened soon.